Hello? Hello? Hello, hello? Are we live? We are live, my friends. Yes, we are live, my friends. Is everybody in? What's going on, people? We are totally behaving, says Cassidy. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I do not believe that you are behaving. What's up, everybody? It's Friday. It's January 26th, 2024. We're still at the beginning of the year. We still got shit going on. I don't know if anybody is into making big changes. I feel like big changes is just kind of like a regular part of my life, so I can't exactly attribute big changes to New Year's myself, but you know, as far as New Year's goes, I mean, I'm doing pretty well. I'm pretty proud of myself. Been going to the gym every day, working my ass off at the gym. So far, I feel like I've been doing pretty good at my thumbnails. Remember, my goal for the year is to do thumbnails, like actually work on them instead of like having a default thumbnail every fucking live stream. Anyways, how is everybody doing? Who's in the house? I see Spectral Deviant. I see Cassidy. I see Brent. I see Nano. And Nano, thank you so much for becoming a member. I really appreciate that. And I did change the name of the membership from Monad to Starlights. So that should be changed by now, because Monad is old. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the term monad. Like, I'm like, I don't want to do that name for a membership anymore, so that's the only reason why. By the way, I actually have completed the P screen today, and I've added some custom art by people who are fans of the show, who are friends of the show, and it's really cool. So I hope to get more in the future, but we do have the P screen ready. Thank you, Cassidy, for reminding me to complete it. We're just, so for now, we're just hanging out and we're waiting for people to get into the live stream. Not everybody gets the notification at the same time. So for some people, they get the notification a little bit after the stream starts. So let's just hang out a little bit and chillax and relax and hang out just for a little while until we get in. In the meantime, you can ask me questions, you can share random statements, you can do whatever the fuck you want for the most part, within respectable reasoning. Also, I'm feeling pretty saucy this Friday, so I have a singular beer. I have a Guinness Drought. I just opened it. I wish I had like 5 more of these. Hey, Lisa and Lee, good to see you. Good to see you, my friend. Japeth, hello, says I used to love Guinness. frothy as fuck. You know, the reason I'm drinking Guinness now is because I think there's something about like when the weather is really cold and chilly, like I feel like Guinness is the perfect type of beer to choose. Like it's like a winter beer, you know what I mean? I mean, Guinness is good all year round, don't get me wrong, but when it's hot and summery, the last thing I'm going for is Guinness. I'm going for something more light. Like water. Eh. Mostly I fuck with, like, diet soda. Like, zero sugar soda. That's my go-to. Anybody up to anything good this week? Anybody got any questions? Anybody want to share anything? Hello, Elise. Good to see you. Elise is one of our beloved moderators. Welcome. We got a moderator in the house. Please show her some respect. Spectral Deviant, it's your birthday. Happy fucking birthday, my friend. Let's do some birthday cakes in the chat for Spectral. Cake. Let's do some birthday cake. Happy fucking birthday. Happy fucking birthday, my friend. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. Can I ask how old you are now? Can I ask how old you're turning? I love how there's like a random baby bottle there. And I think it's really appropriate that there's a baby bottle like emoji because something about birthdays where it's like, I mean, that represents when you were a baby, right? You're brand new, like, mwah, like out of the womb. Mwah. That's what it's like when you're born into this world. You pop out of the vagina like this. Mwah. Anyways, I hope you have a good birthday. I'm so happy to be here on Friday. I love Fridays. I love live streaming. I love all of you. So it's really cool to have you here. And please like the live stream if you have not. I demand it. I'll wait. We will wait for 30 likes. We got 15 right now. We need twice as much. We need 30 likes to start the topics. And we got some good topics tonight. We're going to cover Ron DeSantis dropping out. There's this weird issue going on with George Carlin and AI. Also, I guess Ben Shapiro released a rap song, and I literally heard about it today, and I know nothing about it, so we're going to investigate that. Also, in science news, because I love mechanical things that go on other planets, we're going to cover the Mars helicopter. The little helicopter on Mars, I guess, is having its last mission. Sad. It's retiring. Frankly, I didn't know there was a little helicopter on Mars. I just thought there was like the rover thing, you know? I didn't know that there was like a little helicopter like zooming about. So that's news to me. Ben Shapiro rapping? Oh, totally. We'll see. We might have to have a palate cleanser tonight. Every once in a while at the end of the stream, I'll pull up like a random compilation of like memes or like fails, like people falling down and stuff, like funny videos, just to give some sort of like, yeah, exactly, like a palate cleanser. Sometimes we'll end the stream with like watching absolute nonsense that doesn't make any sense. Cassie! Hello! We got Cassie here, another one of our beloved moderators. Respect her authority. Immediately. Respect her authority. Because, you know, we're totally, like, authoritarian here. No. You know, something I have to, like, just randomly rant about is, like, in my experience being a moderator, like, for example, like, on Morg's live streams and stuff, sometimes, like people who hang around, like, they know better, right? Like, we're just people, like, we're just trying to moderate the live stream. We're trying to, like, keep the place, like, as respectable as possible. But, like, some people pop into these chats, and they just automatically associate live stream moderators as, like, power hungry. Like, power hungry or just, like, full of themselves. And whenever I think about that concept, I'm just like, why the fuck would I waste my time drawing power from a YouTube live stream? Like, why the fuck would I give a shit about that? Like, why, if I need to feel important, why would I demonstrate that and experience that through a YouTube live stream? Like, it's so silly, right? It's like, oh, you're power hungry. You're a power hungry moderator. It's like, what power? What do I win? I have to go to work in the morning. You know what I mean? So I have to go to work the next day, dude. What the fuck are you talking about, power hungry moderators? Like, I don't get it. So at this point, you know, I used to be really sensitive about it. Like, I'm just a person. I'm just moderating. Like, who the fuck are you? And at this point, like, at this point, I kind of just am learning to let people believe what they want to believe about me. Like, if they believe I'm a power hungry moderator or if I'm this or that, like, I'm learning to just let people believe that and just not give a fuck, because there's nothing I can do. And let that be a lesson to you too. There's nothing you can do. There's going to be somebody out there in the world that thinks you're a piece of shit, and there's nothing you can do about that. So why listen to it? You know what I mean? Anyways, that was a random rant. Melinda, good to see you. We're going to start here soon. We're just going to wait a little while longer. Anyways, in the meantime, we are just chit-chatting. Elise says, laughing at and not respecting Ben Shapiro has nothing to do with his ethnicity and to do with his views. I don't know. Is that at the... Are you saying something at the end of a conversation? Am I missing something? I think I'm just missing something. Am I missing something? Jad did the candles light. What? It was in reference to Brent's comment after I made mine? What? You have to keep in mind that, like, my perspective of the chat, like, I don't exactly get things in order. Sometimes it's out of order. So, like, if I'm confused about something, you kind of have to, like, start all over with me. Like, you have to back up a bit. We all know that YouTube moderators are sex symbols. I mean, thank you. Finally, somebody had to say it. Somebody said it finally. Thank you. Yes, we are sex symbols. Thank you. I mean, is that wrong? I got my own birthday. My birthday is in March. It's coming up. My birthday's in March. We might do a birthday. Actually, I love doing birthday streams, but only when it's timely. Let's see if I can do a birthday stream this year. March 23rd. March 23rd is on a Saturday. So fuck yeah, we're doing a birthday stream on the 22nd of March. Fuck yeah, we're doing a birthday stream, bitches. We are doing a birthday stream, bitches. We doing a birthday stream, bitches. We doing a birthday stream, bitches. We doing a birthday stream, bitches. Yeah, totally. That's a good time. Like, if my birthday was on a Tuesday or something, I'd probably just, like, forget it, you know? But, like, if my birthday is on a Saturday, and we usually stream on Fridays, yeah, fuck yeah. By the way, we have Loppy here. Loppy is here. He's here. He's queer, so get used to it. Cassie says, I hope there's cake. During my birthday? Oh, yeah, totally. I don't even know what I would do during my birthday stream this year. Like, what should I do? Like, what do you want to see me do? Like, I don't know. I think I definitely want to, for my birthday stream, I think I definitely want to watch more fun and comedic stuff. Cassidy says, make cupcakes, please. It has been so long. Seriously, it has been so long since I've done a cooking stream. I did that. I did a couple of those. Some cooking streams back in the day where I was in my kitchen. Like, you're in my kitchen with me. Like, should we do a cooking? Like, should we do a cooking stream for my birthday? We'll make, like my birthday cake. Should we make my birthday cake? I would say let's cook my birthday dinner, but I think I want to order it. I want, like, pizza or something. I don't want to sit and cook, like, dinner. But I would love to, like, sit and make cupcakes or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, what do you think? Should we do, like, a birthday baking stream? Birthday baking stream? Yeah. Birthday baking stream? Yeah. Let's do the birthday baking stream. Let's do it. Anyways, I hope everybody's having a good week. I feel super tired today. I've been to the gym every morning this week. Seriously. I am waking up at 7 o'clock in the fucking morning and going to the gym for an hour and a half. I guess it's worth it. I don't know. I mean, at least, so here's my reasoning for waking up and going to the gym like early in the morning is because it's the best time because there's not a lot of people there. In fact, the gym I go to, like, mainly it's, what's the word? It's kind of just like, it's like old people. And I mean that in the kindest way possible with peace and love. Like, it's like elderly people. Like geriatric, like it's me in the gym, and then it's like two old people that walk up really slowly to a machine, and they just kind of like, eh, 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 eh. And then they're done with that machine, and then I walk up to another machine, and it's like, it's just kind of like that. And then they're done with that machine, and they just like slowly shuffle to the other machine and just like that. It's me and the old people, okay, folks? I just love it. I love it. I love running on the treadmill and just watching the old people just shuffle up to the machines and just kind of gyrate it a bit, just at like 10 pounds. Now, I'm not making fun of them. Yo, like, they're fucking, like, nailing it hard there at the gym, okay? Like, I'm pretty sure they've been at the gym more than me at this point. But, like, that's why I wake up and go early, because I love it when, like, the whole gym is empty and it's just the couple of old people there gently gyrating the machines. Okay, if you have not liked the live stream, please do immediately. I'm looking at 21 people in the chat and only 19 likes. We need 2 more, folks. Let's go, chop chop. Elise says, went to a physical therapist that was in a gym. The therapist used to go out to the machines to help cheer on. I miss going sometimes, especially the massages afterwards. I have never had a professional massage in my entire life. Like, never. Like, I kind of really want one. I want, like, a really deep tissue, like, sports massage. Like, I want somebody to, like, fucking dig into the knots into my back. And in my hips. I've also never been to a chiropractor before, and I kind of want to do that and just get some adjustments, because, like, I swear to God, like, I have some funky shit up in my hips. Like, I need somebody to just crack my hips into place, because they just feel, like, super uneven. Hey, we got 21 out of 21 likes. Do you think we can get to 30 likes? Do you think we can get 30 likes? Does anybody have any secondary accounts? They can like this thing. That's so funny. It's like I'm begging, like, please, if you have secondary or third accounts, like this shit. Hey, Renaissance Fairy, good to see you. Ren is amazing. Everybody, we love Ren. Okay, just a few more minutes and we're going to get into our topics. Old people don't care who a sex symbol is. Yes, they do. Old people have sex symbols. Shout out to the old people. Okay? They're still active. Thank you, Cassidy. I'm like, I know some of you have 2 accounts out there. Come on now. Come on now, you're holding up. Don't be holding up on me. Oh, Elise, I didn't know that you have scoliosis. I don't have scoliosis. I just I have some like just misalignments. Back stuff is really hard though. I all of like 2021, mostly 2022, 21, 22, I struggled with like a lot of back problems. I don't know what happened, but I had my back injured in such a way. I don't know if I just like laid down too much or if I actually jerked it or something, but I had back pain so severe for so many months, like day after day after day. And that's when I went downhill, sort of like with my weight. And then I got back into like relying too heavily on painkillers and alcohol, like so much. Things are definitely a lot better now that I've gotten medical help, like professional medical help, and talking with my doctor and stuff. 2024 is definitely like way different. I'm a lot more active now and things don't like hurt, but there was a while there for like 2021 2022 where I was pretty sedentary because of such severe back pain. You know, I could barely even stand to be in my own body. It was so much pain. Hey, MC Heavyset, good to see you. I had like a scan of my back and everything, and there was even like the doctor was like, "Yeah, there's like a disc, like there's a disc in my back that has like a lot of pressure on it, and it's like kind of bulging out a bit. It's not quite like a disrupted like disc, but it's like it's really squishing it, if that makes sense. Like in my lower back, I have like 1 or 2 discs that are like there's a lot of pressure and it's like squeezing because when you with your spine you have like your spine bones like this, like they'll lay on top of each other, but in between this part there's like this little ooey gooey like disc of gel. And so like what's happening is like in my lower back I have this 2 of my spinal joints that are so pressing so hard, it's squishing that gel like out. Anyways, should we get started? Let's do it. Hey, Mark. No, we're just getting started. So, we have our first topic of the day. We're keeping up with the presidential race. We got the Republicans running, and we have Ron DeSantis, who was one of the main runners. Ron DeSantis has recently backed out. Now, the sucky thing about live streaming only on Fridays is that sometimes things happen earlier in the week. So by the time I cover them on Friday, it's pretty much old news. Like, so this is old news in a way. Like, Ron DeSantis dropped out like much earlier. Oh my god, let's blow this up so I can read. Boop, boop. So, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis suspended his Republican presidential campaign on Sunday. So this past Sunday. So this, let's see. Today is the 26th. This article was posted on the 21st. So this week. So earlier this week. Like at the beginning of this week. So this is not terribly too old of news, but, you know, old enough, I guess. Sometimes this makes me wonder if I should start streaming on Wednesdays again. But, like, I don't want to I don't want to put too much on my plate. So, like, I'm unsure about Wednesdays. I think, like, just short videos on Wednesdays. But some part of me sometimes is like, I kind of want to, like, stream in the middle of the week just to keep up on things. Because by the time a Friday rolls around, as I said, it kind of gets to be a little bit of old news. And I feel like the rule of thumb with, like, covering things on YouTube, like, you kind of have to do it within 2 to 3 days, or else it becomes old. Does that make sense? I don't know. Like, what do you guys think? Do you like that I only do, like, Fridays? Like, do you feel like it's old news when I cover shit like this that's, like, early on in the week? Or do you not even notice or give a shit? Are you just like, whatever, Jan, I don't care? Lee says if you want to step into that role, then yeah, you have to stream more. I have a dream. And I'm not trying to rip off Martin Luther King. I literally have a dream that one day I can stream like 5 days a week. I really do. Even if it's like just a couple of hours, I would love to just stream regularly. I just don't know how to go about it. Like maybe Monday, Wednesday, Friday to start. Mondays would have to be super early because, like, I wouldn't have to end by the time that Morg starts their live stream. MC Heavy says 5 days old ain't bad. I love you, Jen. You are a good news reporter. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And Lee says once a week is cool, but if you feel like covering some eventful stuff that happens, then do it. Doesn't have to be long. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Let's just see what happens. You know what? I think I've learned at this point when it comes to YouTube and creating content, you kind of just have to do what you want. Like you do. Like you can't really force yourself to like produce more than you have energy for. You just gotta have to do whatever the fuck you want to do whenever you feel like it. Cassie says, if your goal is to stream more, you should probably start streaming. I mean, yeah. All right, let's get back to this. So the reason Ron DeSantis is quitting, let's see. Because of Donald Trump. No joke. Ron DeSantis is quitting because of Donald Trump. So anyways, the decision leaves Trump and former UN ambassador Nikki Haley as the major candidates remain in the race ahead of Tuesday New Hampshire primary. This is the scenario Trump's foes in the GOP have long sought, raising the stakes for this week's contest as the party's last chance to stop former president who has so far dominated the race. So yeah, quite literally, the reason why Ron DeSantis stepped down is because he's like, well, I really want Trump to be there, which is just so ridiculous. What's that? Oh, God, I'm just like, I have a million thoughts at once going in my head about Ron DeSantis. First and foremost, you all know my ultimate opinion of Ron DeSantis, and that's he's, like, not exactly human, because, like, looking at the man gives me uncanny valley. But the fact that he's, like, he ran, but now he's dropping out just because he feels like Trump is doing better? Anyways. So DeSantis says, it's clear to me that the majority of Republican primary voters want to give Donald Trump another chance. Really? Do they? Do they, though? Do they? Because at this point, there's a ton of Republicans that are done with Trump. Like, straight up. And honestly, I feel like the more legitimate and true to the blue Republicans are done with Trump. I feel like real Republicans, the real conservatives, have had enough with him. Like, they're done. They're like, no, we're not doing this anymore. And it's only the weird Trump cult that's still hanging on to him. Oh, Becca, thank you so much. Becca, who has been a member for 5 months, says, hi, everyone. Hello, honey. I hope you're doing well. Spectral Deviant says they're all under arrest. Pfft. Anyways, so DeSantis continues to say, I signed a pledge to report the Republican nominee, and I will honor that pledge. He has my endorsement because we can't go back to the old Republican guard of yesteryear, a repackaged form of warmed-over corporatism that Nikki Haley represents. It's so funny how, like, so many Republicans, like, they're just, like, not down with Nikki Haley. Look, I'm not conservative. I don't care to be conservative. I'm not Republican. I don't care to be Republican. But sometimes I can step into their shoes and sort of, like, figure out and like, sort of feel not vicariously, but just sort of, like, be empathetic to what their vision is, if that makes sense, what the Republican conservative vision is. So it's like when we get these clowns, these Republican clowns, I don't even feel like they represent what Republicans want to be represented as, if that makes sense. Like true blue, like, conservative Republicans don't like a lot of, like, their representation right now, especially through Trump. So Haley spoke at a campaigning stop in Seabrook, New Hampshire, just as DeSantis announced his decision. He ran a great race. He's been a good governor, and we wish him well, she told a room packed with supporters and media. Having said that, it's now one fella and one lady left. DeSantis's decision, while perhaps not surprising given his 30-point blowout loss last week in Iowa, marks the end of an extraordinary decline for a high-profile governor once thought to be a legitimate threat to Trump's supremacy in the Republican Party. After months of continuous exchanges, Trump struck a more conciliatory. Trump struck a more conciliatory tone. Conciliatory. Conciliatory. Conciliatory.
Conciliatory.
I got it right. Intended or likely to placate or pacify. Okay. Conciliatory, like to conceal. Trump said, I also look forward to working with Ron. Whatever. Trump doesn't give a shit about anybody except for who will benefit him at the moment. So DeSantis entered the 2024 presidential contest with major advantages in his quest to take on Trump. An early primary poll suggested DeSantis was in a strong position to do just that. He and his allies amassed a political fortune well in excess of $130 million, and he boasted a significant legislative record on issues important to many conservatives, like abortion and the teaching of race and gender issues in schools. You know, it's so weird to me. It's so weird to me that things like race and gender issues is something that is being fought against, like that, those sort of things being taught in school, like eventually, like a lot of those kids are eventually going to go to college and take like a pretty mind-opening class there. So like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I guess what I'm trying to say is I think it's ridiculous to be so against teaching of, I guess, I don't know. Gender issues I can see being a bigger deal, but like when they're trying to teach like critical race theory, that seems weird to me. But I guess it doesn't. But see, I went to public school in Murray, Utah, and it wasn't like the worst public school. Like it wasn't super underfunded, but it wasn't the best school either. Like it was a shitty public school. But my teaching of like U.S. history and stuff was definitely whitewashed. Definitely whitewashed. So I think it's really important to kind of like, I guess, I don't know. I guess I feel like when you teach real history, real U.S. history, it has to incorporate critical race theory. Like, it literally has to. There's so much, like, pretty much all of America is founded on, like, racism and just, like, slavery and just colonialism. Like, you kind of, like, if you're going to teach true American history, you have to have all of that in with it. You have to have that. It's so weird to me that there's like a group of fucking like white moms that are like, no, I don't want our child to think that white people are mean. Like, what? Who's dressing like a nurse? What's going on? Nobody's dressing like a nurse, unless they want to. Anyway, such advantages did not survive the reality of presidential politics in 2024. From a high-profile announcement that was plagued by technical glitches to constant upheavals to his staff and campaign strategy, DeSantis struggled to find his footing in the primary. He lost the Iowa caucuses, which he had vowed to win by 30% points to Trump. It's true. Trump did win Iowa. We always have to sneak Trump. I actually forgot to put Trump in the thumbnail. I'm going to go back and fix that because we always get to Trump at some point. Spectral Deviant says, Jan, you sound really good on my new buds. Like earbuds? Oh, I love that. Oh my gosh. Are you all ready for my ASMR channel? I am so ready to launch it this year. I really want to do ASMR. You don't understand. This year is the year for ASMR. We're going to do it. Really, we're going to do it. We're going to do ASMR. I'm going to put you all to sleep. I'm going to put you to fucking sleep, okay? Anyways, Trump notches a commanding win in the Iowa caucuses as DeSantis edges away. So this is earlier. This was January 16th. So yeah, unfortunately, Donald Trump won Iowa caucuses on that Monday on the 16th. Unfortunately. So there's something about that. Because Trump won that. Yeah, Trump's still in the game. I'm sorry. I know we don't like that, but Trump is still in the game, whether or not we like it. So we got to keep an eye out on that. Okay? Remember, all of the legal stuff that Trump's going through, all of the court stuff that Trump is going through, that is not holding him down. That's literally his political campaign. His time that he spends in all these court cases is his political campaign, if that makes sense. Even though it's not technically a campaign. Like, that's his time to have a campaign, and it's working. He still has loyal, hard-ass fans, okay? There's tons of people here in America that still love him. It's concerning. And I'll tell you what. The last time we had a presidential election and Biden won, I didn't give a shit. First of all, I don't care about Biden. I don't like him. If anybody is wondering, I don't like Biden, if that puts you to bed. But anyways, I was really concerned with how many people still voted for Trump. It was still a massive portion of the U.S. That was really concerning to me, and I still think it's around. The only reason I don't talk about Biden as much is because Biden is old and boring, whereas Trump, like, has so much shit going on, if you know what I mean. Biden is old and boring, though. Hey, Susan! Susan says, it really says something about the GOP that Trump is their top choice. I really fucking hate to say this, but it wouldn't surprise me if we had another 4 years of Trump. In some way, shape, or form. Hopefully, due to some technicalities, that won't happen. Hopefully, he'll fall short. But if it does happen, I'm not going to sit here and act surprised. Like, I'm really not. But we'll see. Who knows? Maybe Nikki Haley will be the next president. Like I said, I'm not Republican. I'm not conservative. Chris Christie, unfortunately, backed out. And if I was tied to a chair and was forced to pick a Republican, Chris Christie was like my guy. I was like, I am not conservative, I am not Republican. But if I was forced to be, like, if I was in that thing, like, I would do that. Nikki Haley, I don't know if I pay much attention to her. She seems like a go-getter. I like that she annoys people. I think that's one thing I do like about her, is she annoys people. Let's see. Nikki Haley for president. Okay, where's her big things, though? Like, where's her main... about Nikki. Susan's like, she's a racist. Well, that, I mean, doesn't that come with the territory? Oh my God, these words are so tiny. Why? You were so tiny. She was born in South Carolina. Alright, so when Nikki Haley was born, she was one of 4 children to the only Indian American family in town. Okay. Well, aren't we sitting on our soapbox? Anyway, she was already an outsider, but Nikki's mom would always say her job was not to show everyone how she was different, but how she was the same. And she would also tell her how blessed she was to live in America. Wow, if that's not the ground roots for like Republican conservative thinking, I don't know what is. In 2024, Haley ran for South Carolina State House against a 30-year-old incumbent Republican lawmaker in the primary and won. In the state legislature, she took the old guard culture of Columbia and pushed for tax cuts and transparency when legislators in both parties voted to increase their taxpayer fund. Okay, so tax shit. She ran for governor and won. Okay, in South Carolina. In 2016, President Donald Trump nominated Governor Haley to serve as the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. In that role, she also served as a member of the president's cabinet and on the National Security Council. As an ambassador, Haley defended the U.S. interests, keeping our country safe, and championed human rights. Nikki and Michael Haley met at Clemson University. Michael had a combat veteran deployed to Afghanistan. Okay, so she got an Afghanistan boy. They also have 2 dogs, Bentley and Rio. Shout out to Bentley and Rio. We love the dogs. It doesn't matter who the dogs are owned by. We love the dogs. Oh, is that them? Bentley and Rio? I don't care about the people. Look at these dogs. Yo, why does their dog look like some ramen noodles? Does anybody know what I mean? Like, sometimes there's dogs that look like uncooked ramen noodles. Like, I don't get that fucking poodle hair. Ramen noodle dog, ramen noodle dog. Anyways, DeSantis has returned to Florida by then after a roller coaster weekend that included stops in South Carolina ahead of an event in New Hampshire Sunday evening that was ultimately canceled. Canceled some other shit. Anyways, a bitter rivalry comes to a weekend. Ron DeSantis ultimately decided that he needed to endorse Trump given his popularity in the party despite the deeply personal feud between them. He says, while I've had disagreements with Donald Trump, such as on the coronavirus pandemic and his elevation of Anthony Fauci, Trump is superior to the current incumbent Joe Biden, that is clear. Okay. Well, that's easy for any Republican to say. Well, we'd rather have Trump than Joe Biden. I mean, do you? Do you, though? Hey, Mark, good to see you. Thank you so much for the super chat. What is that, noodles? Fuck yeah, ramen noodles. Ramen noodle dog. Okay. So the endorsement was a stunning tail between his legs moment for DeSantis, whom Trump was mercilessly and relentlessly taunted in deeply personal terms for the better part of a year now. For Trump, whose team includes many former DeSantis staffers, ooh, tea, the attacks have often felt more like a sport than a political strategy. Trump and his aides have blasted the governor as disloyal for running in the first place. Okay. So they thought it was very in the way for DeSantis to run. Anyways, it mocked his eating habits and his personality. Oh, he did? And accused him of wearing high heels to boost his height. Oh, wait, for DeSantis? Because DeSantis's boots is like a whole story. Hold on. Ron DeSantis boots. I'm telling you. Ron DeSantis boots is like a whole fucking thing. Do you know about Ron DeSantis boots? All right. So here we have a picture of Ron DeSantis. And Ron DeSantis likes to wear cowboy boots. I want cowboy boots. I want cowboy boots and a hat. Anyways, something odd about his boots. Let's take a look. Let's take a closer look. Wait, can we? No, we can't. But look at these boots. Notice something weird about these boots. The toes of these boots are pretty fucking long. Exactly, Patricia. These boots were made for walking. And that's just what they do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk into some poo. Anyways. So there's this running theme with Ron DeSantis's boots. Because they look ridiculous, right? Like, look at the picture to the left. Okay, that's the actual picture. Now look at the picture to the right. Motherfucker has to be having, like, tiny ass feet that he's trying to disguise as huge clonkers. Am I wrong? Is the internet wrong? Is the internet wrong about DeSantis's feet? Are they? Because this looks pretty fucking straightforward to me. This looks like some hard-ass evidence of DeSantis's feet. I think this man's got small-ass feet. His feet are too small now. He's got to hide them in some big old boots. Come on, those boots are weird, dude. Like, his toes are not that long, yo. His toes are not that long. Nobody's toes are that fucking long. Nobody has feet shaped like that. Okay? Come on now. Look at that. There's something wrong. Yeah, that's gotta be his real foot. There's something wrong with this. Unless he's reptilian. Of course he's reptilian. He's packing heat in them boots. I'm telling you. Anyways, DeSantis' team joined Trump in attacking Haley as news of his departure rippled across the political landscape. Some doubt Haley, who has seen as splitting Republican votes and preventing a head-to-head matchup between Trump, would benefit from DeSantis' decision. DeSantis says she will not be the nominee. Oh, that wasn't DeSantis. That was Chip Roy. She will not be the president of the United States. Well, I don't know. I think she's got a pretty decent chance, honestly. Trump had already shifted his focus to Haley in recent weeks, but minutes after DeSantis' announcement, the former president's campaign released a new memo highlighting the pressure on Haley to win New Hampshire. So a senior advisor, Chris LaCivita and Susie Wiles, says, now that we are a mere 48 hours from the primary, the tone has shifted mightily. We see it. You see it, but make no mistake, if Haley loses in New Hampshire, there are only two options. Yeah. Option A, Nikki Haley drops out, unites behind President Trump, and commits to defeating Joe Biden, they wrote. Option B, Nikki Haley prepares to be absolutely demolished and embarrassed in her home state of South Carolina, which votes on February 24th. Okay, so Nikki Haley, former governor of South Carolina, South Carolina is due to vote on February 24th. If she gets defeated in that vote and they vote Trump, she is going to be embarrassed. Like, she's going to be laughed out of things. Like at that point, like, she would do the best to just drop out. God, this is... I'm just not comfortable with a lot of these options here, if you know what I mean. This beer is really rich. Like, you really only need one. Holy shit. Anyways, Trump himself addressed DeSantis' departure shortly after it was announced during a stop at Manchester campaign headquarters, according to a video shared by his staff. Who's saying this? So Trump said this. Trump said, "We just got some word that one of our opponents, very capable person, is dropping out of the race. Ron DeSantis, and Ron is dropping out, and in doing so, he endorsed us." Can we find that? Trump on Ron DeSantis. Ron DeStinky. Here we go. I think this is what they're talking about. Hurry up, you stupid net. Oh, what is this?
Before we begin, I'd like to take time to congratulate Ron DeSantis and, of course, a really terrific person who I've gotten to know, his wife Casey, for having run a great campaign for president. He did. He ran a really good campaign, I will tell you. It's not easy. They think it's easy doing this stuff, right? It's not easy.
It's not easy.
You know, he left the campaign trail today at 3 p.m. and in so doing, he was very gracious and he endorsed me, so I appreciate it. I appreciate that, and I also look forward to working with Ron and everybody else to defeat Crooked Joe Biden. We will have to get him.
Crooked Joe. Crooked Joe Biden. So Trump was asked if he would be using the nickname Ron DeSanctimonious, which honestly, Trump saying Ron DeSanctimonious, I think it should have been Ron DeStinky. Ron DeStinky. He's Italian, he's greasy, he's stinky. But you know what's so funny about Ron DeSantis is, like, Ron DeSantis claims to be Italian, and I don't think he is. Ron DeSantis, Italian. I think it turned out that he wasn't Italian at all. Italian towns claim Ron DeSantis as one of the... Oh, I guess he is. I swear to God, it came out like he did one of those DNA tests like I did, and, like, it turns out like he wasn't, like, actually Italian. Anyways. At roughly the same time, not far away, DeSantis' dejected supporters gathered privately in Manchester restaurant where he had been scheduled to speak. Representative James Spillane of Deerfield said that he initially backed Trump, switched to DeSantis, and now will vote for Trump. Okay. Pussy. Simp. Anyways. So this guy says, I had a suspicion this morning, and I talked to some friends of mine saying that the way I was hearing things shake out, I thought this was going to happen, and I was right. He said, unfortunately, DeSantis is not going to be able to make it forward. However, in the future, hopefully, we can have a viable way forward in 2028. Okay, well, that's it. So Ron DeSantis is out. And the reason he's out is because he feels like, you know, he's losing to Trump. Oh God, Ron DeSantis's boots. I'm telling you, that really is a thing. His weird ass fucking feet is a thing.
Politically,
But I can't ask our supporters to volunteer their time and donate their resources if we don't have a clear path to victory. Accordingly, I am today suspending my campaign. But I can't ask our supporters to volunteer their time and donate their resources if we don't have a clear path to victory. Accordingly, I am today suspending my campaign.
So Governor Ron DeSantis ending his run for the White House in 2024, endorsing former President Trump and saying this about rival Nikki Haley.
He has my endorsement because we can't go back to the old Republican guard of yesteryear, a repackaged form of warmed-over corporatism that Nikki Haley represents.
The former president and his last remaining challenger, Nikki Haley, both reacting now to the news.
There were a lot of fellas. All the fellas are out, except for this one. And this comes down to, what do you want? Do you want more of the same, or do you want something new?
So we just got some word that one of our...
I want fiscal teleocracy, but call me crazy.
Ron DeSantis. And Ron is dropping out, and he, in doing so, he endorsed us.
Well, officials are expecting a record turnout in New Hampshire tomorrow, despite the cold and snowy weather.
I mean, ultimately, when it comes to politics, and I feel like I've said this plenty of times, maybe I need to say it again, is like, we need a political system that actually complements what humans should be doing, which is evolving, growing, and becoming the best versions of ourselves. Like, we need to be actualizing. We need a system that actually caters to the idea of human evolution. Nothing that any of these political leaders that are running for president right now are even remotely close to what we need right now as a human race. And I'm talking Republicans and Democrats and independent parties that are running for president right now. None of them are even coming close to what we need. We need a teleocratic program for the human race right now, and not just for America, all around the world. And what I mean about teleocratic meaning a system that focuses on the evolutionary needs of humans as like a human race, like something that recognizes that we as a human race are meant to evolve beyond something that we are right now. And what we're meant to evolve into, honestly, I guess I just can't even describe, because it's just the nature of reality to evolve into something better. You see it in plants, you see it in animals, you see it everywhere. Why not humans? Like, why do we think we're at the top of the food chain right now and this is as good as it gets? Okay, we are very self-aware creatures, and I think that can be very frightening for a lot of us, especially when it comes to dealing with the internet right now. Okay, so the internet is joining a lot of people together. Okay, you have access to the entire world. You have access to humanity's thoughts. You have access to ideas and things, and it's like the Tower of Babel, you know, like from the Bible. It's this tower. The internet is like this tower of many languages, and a lot of people can't understand each other right now. We should actually I should make a video about that, I think, maybe sometime, comparing the internet to the Tower of Babel, because it's like a mecca. It's a cornerstone of just ideas, and it gets lost in translation a lot. And I think the more time you spend and the more patience you give to understanding humanity as a whole and understanding different ideas, I think that helps humanity reach a more evolved state. It helps us reach a more unified state, right? Like, we're not all on the same page, obviously, and we probably never will be completely on the same page for a fucking long time. But we need a political leader who is sensitive and aware of the fact that humanity needs to be guided as a whole, not just thinking for the individuals or certain groups of people or benefiting certain groups of people, but benefiting all of us as a whole and making like a safe place for us to grow and learn and evolve and become what we're meant to become, which is something that I don't even know right now, because I think that's the beauty of evolving into something. The beauty of evolving into something is we don't exactly, we know we're evolving and we know we're meant to get better and become more refined, but we don't know exactly what that is yet. But that's the whole point of it, is like, that's what's exciting, right? Like, hey, like, we're not meant to be stationary in the current state we are right now as humans. We're meant to keep growing and evolving, and the next step is really exciting, and I feel like it's coming. I really do. I feel like it's like right here. It's like a paradigm shift, right? A paradigm shift where we're understanding reality a bit better. We're realizing the world isn't flat. Okay, the world isn't flat. We're realizing reality isn't just matter. We're realizing that we don't just cease to exist when we die. Like, we don't just like die with our bodies, right? Like, we can continue to live on, like all these things. I think we need a leader in the United States and in the world that's just really sensitive and really well educated about these types of things, about these types of concepts. And that, to me, is a teleocratic leader. Not somebody who's concerned about representing South Carolina, not somebody who's concerned about representing Ohio, not somebody who's concerned about representing whatever personal personal ideas about morality and stuff that they have. Like, somebody who can actually think about humanity as a whole and actually think about people that are very different from them. That's just my opinion, though. Call me crazy. I believe in a Neogenian future where we have a teleocratic leader that is well educated in philosophy and mathematics, in being compassionate and all that. Anyways, I think that's all I have to say about Ron DeStinky. Let's see, what do we have next? Okay, we're not covering that. Not covering that. Ants in Kenya? No, we're not covering ants in Kenya. So we have 3 topics left. We're going to talk about George Carlin. Then we're going to talk about Ben Shapiro. And then we're going to talk about the Mars helicopter. So before we get into that, I need to pee. Yes, for the first time ever, we actually get to use the pee screen. The pee screen is the screen that I put on while I go to the bathroom and get snacks and drinks and stuff. And I am accepting art from you, from the viewers. So if you have fan art to give to the pee screen, like, let me know, because like, this is a thing, the pee screen. So anyways, enjoy the pee screen for the first time. I need to go pee. Thank you. Hold on. And we're back. Did you like the P screen? So if you would like to submit art for the P screen, please message me either like on Instagram or not Facebook. I'm not really good at responding to Facebook messages, but if you can Instagram DM me, or if you're a member, you can DM me on Discord. Pretty much any way you want to submit your P screen art, like let me know and I will add it to the queue. Accepting P screens. Let's talk about George Carlin. Is anybody familiar with George Carlin? George Carlin is a comedian that passed away like some time ago. And he was well known for a style of comedy that nailed the reality of America, politics, like sociology. Like, he was a smart fucking man. So, anyways, I wonder if we can watch. Can we watch just like a little bit of him? Let's just hopefully we won't get blocked. I don't know how YouTube's gonna be in blocking us. Hold on. Let's just get a little sample of George Carlin, all right? Like, I'm just trying to like click on like whatever. YouTube, please don't block me, okay? I'm not trying to make money off this. I'm just trying to fucking do a live stream. Okay. Thank you. George Carlin is a comedian that has passed away.
Say what you want about America, land of the free, home of the brave. We got some dumbass motherfuckers floating around this country. Dumbass motherfuckers, you know? Yeah. Now, obviously, that doesn't include this audience. I understand that. You seem intelligent and perceptive, but the rest of them, holy jumping fucking shitballs. Dumber than a second coat of paint. And this ain't just ranting and raving. This ain't just blowing off steam. I got a little evidence to support my claim. It just seems to me, that only a really low IQ population could have taken this beautiful continent, this magnificent American landscape that we inherited. Well, actually, we stole it from the Mexicans and the Indians, but hey, it was nice when we stole it. It looked pretty good. It was pristine. Paradise. Have you seen it lately? Have you taken a good look at it lately?
It's true. I mean, it's so weird, because I'll tell you what, the history you learn in public school, like public grade school, like the U.S. history you learn, is not the real U.S. history. If you sit down and learn real U.S. history, it's nothing but a bloodbath. It's nothing but just sheer blood spilling of just white assholes coming to this continent and taking over Indians and Mexicans. Like, it's like, you can't get around it. You really can't. And a lot of the way that history is taught to us in public schools is very just sugar-coated. And it just seems like, oh, well, we, as white people, we had to colonize somewhere else. It's like, it was a necessity. It wasn't at all. The real history of America is very bloody.
It's fucking embarrassing. Only a nation of unenlightened half-wits could have taken this beautiful place and turned it into what it is today, a shopping mall. A big fucking shopping mall.
Yep.
You know that? That's all you got. That's all you've got here, folks. Mile after mile of mall after mall. Many, many malls. Major malls and mini malls. They put the mini malls in between the major malls. And in between the mini malls, they put the mini marts. And in between the mini marts, you got the car lots, gas stations, muffler shops, laundromats, cheap hotels, fast food joints, strip clubs, and dirty bookstores. America the Beautiful. One big...
Yo, you know what's so weird? Living in Central Coast, California, like it's like a, you know, there's cities here, but you can drive out of the city and go into like forest areas or like areas that are just like more natural, you know. When I moved to Los Angeles, I was overwhelmed with the fact that every block on Los Angeles, like the first thing I did when I got to Los Angeles, when I moved there, I took a walk down Venice Boulevard. Every fucking block is like a liquor store, payday advance like business, like a quinceanera dress store, or like a just like, it was just all these like certain types of shops. Like you got like a donut shop, you got like the liquor store, you got like the payday loan advance store, you got like the the sewing store, like every block was just like a major like little mini mart. It was so baffling. Like you keep walking down the street and it's just endless shops and stuff, like, and then only when you turn away from the street do you get to the houses. And even then, it was so weird about Los Angeles is like you'll be walking in a nice neighborhood and you'll literally just turn the corner and suddenly it's a scary fucking alleyway with like tons of homeless people like on crack, like ready to fucking strangle you to death. It's so fucking weird. But that's what that reminds me of. It's just walking down Venice Boulevard and like every block is just like a corner store, like a payday advance store, like a fucking sewing shop, like a fucking pizza place, a donut place, whatever.
Transcontinental commercial cesspool. And how do the people feel about all this? How do the people feel about living in a coast-to-coast shopping mall? Well, they think it's just fucking dandy. They think it is cool as can be, because Americans love the mall. They love the mall. That's where they get to satisfy their two most prominent addictions at the same time: shopping and eating. Millions of semi-conscious Americans, day after day, shuffling through the malls, shopping and eating, especially eating. Americans love...
You know, the place I live in, like, I'm in a city, and not just the city, actually the city next to me. Okay, so the major city next to me is a place, like, I've been living in this area for like over a decade. The only thing to do downtown is to either shop or eat. You either eat at a restaurant that's overpriced for what it's offering because it's like a touristy thing, or like you shop and it's like touristy knickknacks. So it's like, it's, the place I live in is just so tourist based. And I work in a farmer's market and I work outside and stuff, and I'm like an impromptu information service. So I get tourists that'll come up to me and ask me questions like, hey, where do I eat? Like, what's good to do here? And I tell them, I'm like, I don't know. And they're like, you're a local, right? And it's like, yeah, I don't know where you should go eat at a restaurant. Like, I don't know what restaurant you should eat. Like, really? You haven't been to these restaurants? It's like, no, I haven't, because I am a local and I go to a fucking grocery store to get food. That's the weird thing. It's like, as a local of my area, why the fuck would I spend my time visiting every single fucking restaurant just so I could give somebody my opinion of it? I don't know. I don't fucking know. I've been to a couple of restaurants here. I haven't been to every one of them. I don't know what the fuck they have to offer. And every restaurant I've been to is overpriced food. You're spending $15 for a fucking goddamn burger and french fries. Like, I don't know. Japeth says, the thing about the American dream is you have to be asleep to believe it, by George Carlin. That, he did infamously say that line. Anyways, continuing.
Love to eat. They are fatally attracted to the slow death of fast food. Hot dogs, corn dogs, triple bacon cheeseburgers, deep fried butter dipped in pork fat and cheese whiz, mayonnaise soaked barbecued mozzarella patty melts. Americans will eat anything. 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 If you were selling sauteed raccoons' assholes on a stick,
fuck yeah,
Americans would buy them and eat them.
Fuck
Especially
yeah.
if you dipped them in butter and put a little salsa on them. This country is big time, pig time. Forget the bald eagle. You know what the national emblem of this country ought to be? A big bowl of macaroni and cheese.
Fuck yes.
A big bowl, because everything in this country is king size. King size, extra large, and super jumbo. Especially the fucking people. Have you seen some of the people in this country? Have you taken a good look at some of these big, fat...
By the way, George Carlin is like an offensive comedian. I don't know, like, how you guys feel. Like, so to me, I actually am really tolerant of offensive comedy. Like, I love it. So, some people don't like it. I love dark humor. I am the type of person where I laugh at shit that I probably shouldn't be laughing at. Because that's how I take it. Like, when it comes to dark-ass shit, like, and my own personal traumas and stuff, or going through traumatic situations, I crack a joke and I fucking laugh. Because that's how I deal with that. I'm that type of person. I will laugh very heartily at inappropriate situations. In fact, that's kind of like the thing that does make me laugh. Like, when things are really inappropriate and, like, fucked up, that makes me laugh. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, when shit's the more fucked up it is, the more I laugh.
Motherfuckers walking around. Big, fat motherfuckers. Oh, my God. Huge piles of redundant protoplasm lumbering through the malls like a fleet of interstate buses. The people in this country are immense. Massive bellies, monstrous thighs, and big, fat fucking asses. And if you stand there for a minute and you look at one of them, you begin to wonder, how does this woman take a shit? How does she shit? And even more frightening, how does she wipe her ass? Can she even locate her asshole? She must require assistance.
Susan says it depends on the humor. For me, I have a hard time laughing at marginalized people. Okay. I totally agree with that. Like, I guess it really depends on the type of joke. Because as a trans person, I've heard a lot of terrible trans jokes. Trans jokes that, like, they're just not funny. Okay, they're just, like, stupid and cruel. And that's the one thing about trans jokes, especially, like, in dealing with, like, Dave Chappelle's, like, recent comedy. He really doubles down on trans people. All the trans jokes I've heard are just not funny. And not because I'm offended by them. They're just not funny. Like, it's just shitty humor. Like, it's just, like, a stupid joke. But when people make those kind of jokes, they're like, oh, well, it's because you're too sensitive and you can't handle it. It's like, bitch, I'm trans. Like, of course I have fucking thick skin. But if you're going to make a joke about trans people, at least make it good. I heard a joke once made by a trans man. So a trans man said this, and it shook me to my core. Like, it literally shook me down to my identity. Because it was such a cruel joke, but it was so fucking funny. I was shocked. So this trans man said, was talking something along the lines of, like, how, you know, when you take testosterone, right, you go through the changes, you start growing facial hair. And the trans man said, he's like, you know, some of you people on testosterone have facial hair that you should shave. And I was so shocked. Because it's true. Because when you take testosterone and your facial hair starts growing through, it grows in through, like, scraggly and, like, nasty. And it's like you have scraggly grandma hair. Like, so it's just like hearing from another trans man, like, you know, some of you have facial hair that you should shave. I was just like, oh. I totally clutched my fucking pearls on that shit. Like, that was a good joke. That was a good, like, hard, like offensive trans joke. Like, that was fucking funny. So, yeah, you know, when it comes to joke, it does depend. Like, you can have some really offensive jokes that are fucking funny, and then you have offensive jokes that aren't jokes at all. They're not funny. And I think that's the point. When it's not funny, it's not a joke anymore. But you could be funny about a lot of dark things.
Are paramedics trained in this field? And standing right next to her, of course, with a plate full of nachos and a mouthful of pie is her clueless fucking husband, Joe Sixpack. with his monstrous swollen beer belly hanging dangerously out over his belt buckle. This guy ain't seen his dick since the Nixon administration. And if you stand there and you look at the two of them, you begin to wonder to yourself, do these people fuck? Is this man actually capable of fucking this woman? It doesn't seem structurally possible that these two people could achieve penetration. Maybe they're in that Cirque du Soleil or something. Telling you, the people in this country,
fuck.
every one of them is 50
Dude, he is relentless.
pounds overweight. They are gargantuan. And in the summertime, God help us, in the summertime, they all want to wear short pants. Jesus, Lord, protector of all that is good and holy, deliver me from fat people in short pants. They all got short pants, big bellies, fat thighs, and dumb kids. Short pants, big bellies, fat thighs, and dumb kids. Every one of them's got two dumb-ass kids with them. And the whole family is wearing T-shirts, and every one of them's got the same T-shirt. I'm with stupid. Apparently in this country, the stupids are an extended family. And besides wearing them T-shirts, everyone in the family's got on a backpack. They got a backpack strapped to their back so they can carry around lots of stupid shit. And the reason they got to carry their stupid shit strapped to their backs is because their hands must remain free at all times to hold food.
Oh my
And
fuck.
to get that food up to the mouth where it gets shoveled
Bro,
in with all
this
the
is
rest of the
harsh.
disgusting shit they ate that day.
Okay, so like, I mean, I get it, but like at the same time, like I'm like, come on, man, leave those people alone. Like, come on now.
And another reason for the backpacks is these people are going to buy even more stupid shit. They ain't got enough stupid shit at home. They just had a stupid shit sale. They ain't going to buy more. They're going to go out in the parking lot and stuff this stuff into the big, fat, ugly, oversized SUV that's got plenty of room in it. Plenty of room in it for stupid shit and lots of room left over for these big, fat, ugly motherfuckers to get them home. Stopping, of course, for jelly roll and fried dough. These people are efficient, professional, compulsive consumers. It's their civic duty, consumption. It's the new national pastime. Fuck, baby.
I think his point, though, isn't necessarily to make fun of fat people in general or overweight people. Like, I can see, like, his point isn't to make fun of people who are overweight due to, like, legitimate reasons, like, due to health reasons and stuff like that. What he's trying to do is paint a picture on, like, exactly as he just said, somebody who is just, like, an overconsumer, somebody who consumes a lot, whether it's, like, food, purchasing stuff, like vacations, just the general idea of like overconsumption in America. So like, I guess I'm trying to throw him a bone here because I doubt like he hates fat people in general. I think he's talking about specific type of people who just makes certain decisions that's just very gluttonous, if you know what I mean.
Baseball, it's consumption. The only true lasting American value that's left, buying things. Buying things.
Yeah.
People spending money they don't have on things they don't need. Money they don't have on things they don't need. So they can max out their credit cards and spend the rest of their lives paying 18% interest on something that costs $12.50. And they didn't like it when they got it home anyway. Not too bright, folks. Not too fucking bright. But if you talk to one of them about this, if you isolate one of them, you sit them down rationally, and you talk to them about the low IQs and the dumb behavior and the bad decisions, right away they start talking about education. That's the big answer to everything. Education. They said we need more money for education. We need more books, more teachers, more classrooms, more schools. We need more testing for the kids. You say to them, well, you know, we've tried all of that, and the kids still can't pass the test. So don't you worry about that. We're going to lower the passing grades. And that's what they do in a lot of these schools now. They lower the passing grades so more kids can pass. More kids pass, the school looks good, everybody's happy, the IQ of the country slips another 2 or 3 points, and pretty soon all you'll need to get into college is a fucking pencil. You got a pencil? Get the fuck in there. It's physics. Then everyone wonders why 17 other countries graduate more scientists than we do. Education. Politicians know that word. They use it on you. Politicians have traditionally hidden behind 3 things: the flag, the Bible, and children. No child left behind. No child left behind. Oh, really?
Yo, No Child Left Behind was this weird, like, thing that happened when I was in public school. So when I was in public school, George Bush did this thing called like No Child Left Behind. And it was to do a series of testing to sort of like pinpoint like what child was at what level and like who needed it the most. But the testing itself was so asinine and didn't help at all. So as a kid, I remember this program called No Child Left Behind. Suddenly I'm pulled into a special classroom and I'm having to test almost like a SAT test type of thing where like you have the card, you have a booklet, you have a card, you have to fill in A, B, C, D, or E is like the answer. But there was just so much of that testing. And at the time that the test results came out, they started putting me in classes below my grade level. But it was a weird situation where it's like I understood the material, but I did so poorly at testing. So just because I'm bad at testing, they put me in classes that I didn't really need to be. And frankly, it was single-handedly, and I will say this without a doubt, the reason I couldn't graduate high school normally. I was not able to because I was so frustrated with school and what they did with me. I did not end up passing my classes, and I ended up getting my GED. I dropped out of high school. I got my GED, my general education degree, and that was better. But like No Child Left Behind, that single-handedly like fucked up my high school experience. That was the reason I could not graduate normally. Straight up.
Really? Well, it wasn't long ago you were talking about giving kids a head start. Head start, left behind. Someone's losing fucking ground here. But there's a reason. There's a reason. There's a reason for this. There's a reason education sucks, and it's the same reason that it will never, ever, ever be fixed. It's never going to get any better. Don't look for it. Be happy with what you got. Because the owners of this country don't want that. I'm talking about the real owners now. The real owners, the big wealthy business interests that control things and make all the important decisions. Forget the politicians. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own.
Now this is where George Carlin gets really good. I'm going to backtrack this, and I want you to listen to what he says, because this is true.
Child left behind. Oh, really? Well, it wasn't long ago you were talking about giving kids a head start. Head start, left behind. Someone's losing fucking ground here. But there's a reason. There's a reason. There's a reason for this. There's a reason education sucks, and it's the same reason that it will never, ever, ever be fixed. It's never going to get any better. Don't look for it. Be happy with what you got. Because the owners of this country don't want that. I'm talking about the real owners now. The real owners, the big wealthy business interests that control things and make all the important decisions. Forget the politicians. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you.
Yep.
They own everything.
Yep.
They own all the important land. They own and control the
This
corporations.
is true.
They've long
Listen to
important
this.
Pay for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets, and they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the balls. They spend billions of dollars every year lobbying to get what they want. Well, we know what they want. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. That's against their interest. That's right. They don't want people who are smart enough to sit around the kitchen table and figure out how badly they're getting fucked by a system that threw them overboard 30 fucking years ago.
Yeah.
They don't want that. You know what they want? They want obedient workers. Obedient workers. People who are just smart enough to run the machines and do the paperwork and just dumb enough to passively accept all these increasingly shittier jobs with the lower pay, the longer hours, the reduced benefits, the end of overtime, and the vanishing pension that disappears the minute you go to collect it. And now they're coming for your Social Security money. They want your fucking retirement money. They want it back. so they can give it to their criminal friends on Wall Street. And you know something? They'll get it. They'll get it all from you sooner or later because they own this fucking place.
Yep.
It's a big club, and you ain't in it. You and I are not in the big club. By the way, it's the same big club they used to beat you over the head with all day long, where they tell you what to believe. All day long, beating you over the head in their media, telling you what to believe, what to think, and what to buy. The table is tilted, folks. The game is rigged. And nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. Good, honest, hard-working people, white collar, blue collar, doesn't matter what color shirt you have on. Good, honest, hard-working people continue. These are people of modest means. Continue to elect these rich cocksuckers who don't give a fuck about them. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about you at all. At all. At all. Yeah. You know? And nobody seems to notice, nobody seems to care. That's what the owners count on, the fact that Americans will probably remain willfully ignorant of the big red, white, and blue dick that's being jammed up their assholes every day.
Yeah.
Because the owners of this country know the truth. It's called the American dream, because you have to be asleep to believe it.
Yeah, so that's like where the infamous line comes from. So why am I showing you George Carlin? So George Carlin was like a pretty profound comedian, right? He's long passed, okay? Like he's passed away. So today we have this amazing technology of AI, and somebody put together artificial intelligent George Carlin. And so what they did is they took all of his old, like, you know, stand-ups, put them in, and had artificial intelligence generate a new stand-up by George Carlin as if he were still alive. So let's go to that. Where is that? Where is that? I gotta find it. Hold on. I thought I had it. I think I accidentally clicked it out when I was like closing some tabs. I think it's this. Somebody made AI of George Carlin, and the family that owns the rights is moving to sue them for this. I think this is the original video. I don't know if they had to take it down yet or if it's still available, but it was really fucking good. And he even talked about like trans issues and stuff. So like, I don't know if this was...
Legendary stand-up George Carlin, though, is back with a new special, and in true form...
Yeah, okay, so I think this is the AI thing. Okay, how do I make the thing big? Yo, dude, come on. So this is AI.
He's got a lot to say about the state of the world today.
Thank you. Thank you. I'd like to start off with a heartfelt apology. I'm sorry it took me so long to come out with new material, but I do.
This is AI, and this trips me out because it's good. And this is where I think controversies with AI is really going to become like boiling to the rise. So the family of George Carlin that owns the rights to his work is moving to take legal action against the person who's creating artificial George Carlin. But it's so weird, right? Because like now we're seeing into play like the roles of AI into media and media rights. Anyway, so let's listen to this fake AI George Carlin.
Legendary stand-up George Carlin, though, is back with a new special, and in true form, he's got a lot to say about the state of the world today.
Thank you. Thank you. I'd like to start off with a heartfelt apology. I'm sorry it took me so long to come out with new material, but I do have a pretty good excuse. I was dead.
AI resurrected stand-up comedians are going to be the news anchors of the next decade, which,
God, dude,
now that I think of it, means news anchors are probably out of a job too.
Nervous laughter. Yes, his new special touching on AI, the upcoming election, inequity in America, and more is even more impressive since George Carlin has...
Wait, I wanted to hear more. I thought that was like the whole video. Hold on. I think it's this.
Thank you. Thank you. I'd like to start off with a heartfelt apology. I'm sorry it took me so long to come out with new material, but I do have a pretty good excuse. I was dead.
Why is it gray?
So technically, it wasn't my fault. If you want to blame somebody, you're going to have to blame God. Which we all know is not going to happen. People are always thanking God for the good stuff in their lives, but somehow they conveniently forget that it's the same God who does all the bad shit too. And he does a lot of bad shit. You get a promotion, praise Jesus. You get fired, God is testing me. You meet your soulmate, God brought us together. Your soulmate dumps you, God is bringing me someone else. You survive a tornado, I'm so blessed. 20 other people do not, God wanted them in heaven. It's all bullshit. If he gets credit for the good stuff, then he's got to take the blame for the bad stuff too. You can't thank him for curing your cancer when he was the one that gave it to you in the first place. And don't forget, before he gave you cancer, he had to fucking invent it. What kind of a sick fuck dreams up cancer? And why so many kinds? Skin cancer, blood cancer, prostate cancer, breast cancer, kidney cancer, pancreatic cancer, liver cancer, lung cancer, and my personal favorite, rectal cancer. Dropping a golf ball-sized tumor in your brain doesn't quite do it for the old man anymore. He has to fuck you in the ass, too. And cancer is just one of many, many, many methods God created out of thin air in order to murder you. You know how much God loves killing people? He loves it so much, he's killed every person that has ever lived.
This, I mean, if you didn't know any better, you'd think this was actually George Carlin. The AI rendering of George Carlin here, knowing that this is fake, this is crazy good. This is so good. And frankly, it's so good, it makes me really concerned. It makes me concerned about, like, deepfake AI videos that not necessarily hold on. I have something caught in my throat. So when it comes to AI like this that's seemingly so real, I'm not concerned about people like you and me where we use our reasoning, right? Like we figure out the facts, like we know what's up. There's a lot of people out there in the world that will take this at face value. People will take shit at face value. Think about AI rendered videos of events of war in other countries. Like, take the Palestinian and Israel war right now. Like, AI generated videos of shit that actually didn't happen but is so convincing, like people believe it's real, and it sways the opinion and action of, like, how to take care of things. I'm talking about, like, really deep stuff like that. That's what I get concerned about. So this is really interesting. Like, let me skip ahead, because obviously we're not going to watch this whole fucking hour of this fake George Carlin.
In the last 3 years, the U.S. government said aliens are real. They said it in the New York Times, for fuck's sake. They admitted they have in their possession crashed UFOs in hangars. They admitted that they're trying to reverse engineer non-human technology, which means they've been lying to the American public and the whole world for 80 years about knowing the answer to the biggest question in fucking human existence. Are we alone? They told you the answer. We're not, and no one cares, because a grainy infrared video of a UFO ain't got no fighting, no crying, no fucking, and no dying. You know what people care about instead? Who Taylor Swift is fucking.
Somebody had to actually write this script, though. That's what's really interesting, is like whoever wrote the script of this, like, spent a lot of time like figuring out who George Carlin was.
Fucking. Jesus Christ, you really care a lot about that. If she's spotted with anyone, anywhere, the first thing everyone seems to be thinking is, are they fucking? It's global front page news. Everyone must know who Taylor Swift is fucking at all times. And we must all discuss it and have our opinions. You're at Starbucks. Would you like your Frappuccino almond milk pumpkin spice latte iced or hot? Oh, and did you see who Taylor Swift is fucking? You're at work. Great sales meeting today, everyone.
I actually like Taylor Swift's music. I'm not a Swiftie by say, like, but let's see. Let's skip a little ahead.
You worked hard, really dedicated yourself to learning something, a trade or a skill, and you got good at it. You could move up a rung or two on the ladder. But even if you didn't, you could still get by, still feed your family, still have a place to live. But those days are long gone, folks. To enrich their corporate donors. But they're spiking the ball. Everybody knows about Leah Thomas winning a Division I.
I'm trying to find the trans part.
Against each other. On this side of things, identity is based on two simple components: how you're feeling and what you're thinking. We try to help everybody feel good, and we share our ideas openly and freely. And no one is ever judged for anything they think or feel. Everyone is accepted and celebrated for who they are and what they contribute to the perpetual conversation about how to make everyone's experience better. Come to think of it, that sounds a lot like heaven, don't it? While you're letting that sink in, let's get back to conservatives hating trans people for no reason. Some of the arguments they use to justify their transphobia seem like a bit of a stretch to me. Well, I don't want a man to be able to walk into a women's restroom and see my wife naked. First of all, what in the fuck is your wife doing naked in a public bathroom? And second of all, if you really think there is a significant number of guys who want to watch your wife take a shit, you should start an OnlyFans immediately. And by the way, for anyone who thinks Jesus cares about which bathroom somebody uses, he was shitting in a hole he dug with his own fucking hands. Just like everybody else 2,000 fucking years ago. The right likes to bring up that kids are too young to know if they're trans or gay, so they have to ban any books that talk about gender identity or sexuality from the school libraries. That's how you're going to save the children, by taking books out of a library. Hey, dipshits, you can take the whole fucking library. We have the internet now. And they love talking about how small the trans community is. They say trans people make up such a small percentage of the population that they shouldn't get to have any input in legislation, even laws that will directly affect their communities and lives. Funny how that same argument doesn't apply to members of the NRA. But I have to admit, the one point they really hang their hat on is one that the rest of the country is still undecided on too. sports. Everybody saw the video of the high school volleyball player who got her nose broken by a trans player spiking the ball. Everybody knows about Leah Thomas winning a Division I swimming title. It's hard for most people to watch her highlight reel and not at least wonder if maybe she had a little bit of an unfair advantage. And once that thought is out there in the American town square, it's hard to get rid of. But I think there's a way, because for every superstar like Leah Thomas, there are 1,000 trans athletes who are absolutely mediocre.
Yep.
And there are even more who are fucking terrible.
Yes.
Just like it is with cis athletes, not everyone can be great. I think all we need to do to change hearts and minds is start making compilation videos of trans athletes performing miserably in their chosen sports.
Yes. Yes.
All it would take is one video of a transgender getting dunked on to go viral, and then everybody could unpucker their assholes about the issue and move on to other things. And I just want to preface what I'm going to say next by explaining that I mean no offense to the incredible swimmers of the world. Your accomplishments and dedication are true.
Anyways, I think that's enough. So this is like completely fake George Carlin. So pretty much right now, as I said, the family to the rights is suing for this because it's like a little bit too close to home, I guess. Which brings an interesting conversation about AI generated content. Like, if somebody AI generated like something of you, do you feel like you should have rights to that? Stop it. What is this? So Los Angeles, the estate of George Carlin, is suing the media company behind a fake hour-long comedy special that purportedly uses artificial intelligence to recreate the latest stand-up comic Mike style and material. The lawsuit filed in federal court in Los Angeles on Thursday asks that a judge order the podcast outlet Dudesy to immediately take down the audio special George Carlin, I'm Glad I'm Dead, which a synthesis of George Carlin delivers a commentary on current events. George Carlin died in 2008, by the way. So George Carlin's daughter, Kelly Carlin, said in a statement that the work is a poorly executed facsimile cobbled together by unscrupulous individuals to capitalize on the extraordinary goodwill my father established with his adoring fan base. That is a sentence. God damn. That is such a wordy goddamn sentence. It's a little bit too much, honestly. It's a little too robotic. A poorly executed facsimile cobbled together by unscrupulous individuals to capitalize on the extraordinary goodwill my father established with his adoring fan base. Wow. I mean, that definitely describes it perfectly, but that is such a big sentence. Holy shit. So the Carlin estate and its executor, Gerald Hamza, are named as plaintiffs in the suit, which alleges violations of Carlin's right of publicity and copyright. The named defendants are Dudesy and podcast hosts Will Sasso and Chad Coltgen. So the lawsuit says none of the defendants had permission to use Carlin's likeness for the AI-generated George Carlin special, nor did they have a license to use any of the late comedian's copyrighted materials. The defendants have not filed a response to the lawsuit, so they haven't responded. And it was not clear whether they have retained an attorney. They could not immediately be reached for comment. So at the beginning of the special posted on YouTube on January 9th, a voiceover identifying itself as AI engine used by Dudesy saying, it listened to the comic's 50 years of material and they did their best to imitate the voice. Okay. The plaintiffs say that was in fact how it was created, and some listeners have doubted its stated origins. it means that Carlin's copyright was violated. Okay, so the company, as it often does in similar objects, also released a podcast episode with Sasso and Kultgen in introducing and commenting on the mock Carlin. What we just listened to, was that passable? Kultgen says in a section of episode cited in the lawsuit. Yeah, it sounded exactly like George Carlin, Sasso responded. The lawsuit is among the first that is... And this is where I think this is interesting with AI. So this lawsuit is among the first in what is likely to be an increasing number of major legal moves made to fight the regenerated use of celebrity images and likeness. So this is going to start establishing laws in AI, like if you can use celebrities' image and likeness, and do they have rights to that? Mark says Kelly got her dad's language gene. Yeah, totally. Honestly. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you think about people creating AI generated like images of celebrities? Like if a production company decided to use a celebrity's image and create a whole movie using AI, but they never actually use the actress or actor, like, what do you think about that? Do you think the actress or actor should have rights to that? If they're using their image and their likeness for like a whole movie? Because that is, like, we're not talking about just like a little snippet of George Carlin. Like, they created a whole hour-long comedy special. And it's pretty good. Like, and what I mean by pretty good, like, it sounds like George Carlin. So if people can't tell the difference between AI and the real thing, and this person who made this AI production, like if they're making money off of that and getting views, like what does that mean for the estate, the family that actually owns the rights to George Carlin's creations and his likeness and his image? Laura says they totally stepped all over copyright laws. Vibrational says definitely the realm of trademark copyright issues, or should be. Nanu says it's going to be the next thing to add in a testament. Yeah? Anyways, I think we are going to move on. We are going to move on to Ben Shapiro. So Ben Shapiro is the head of Daily Wire, which is, you know, that very conservative Republican media site. And I guess Ben Shapiro decided to put out a rap video. I literally just heard about this today, and I have not heard this rap video. I recognize this guy, this rapper that he's with. I feel like I've listened to one of this guy's songs, and I feel like it was pretty good, but then like within his song, he made some weird like transphobic sort of lyric, and I was just like, that's weird. Like it was good for a minute, and then I'm like, that's weird. So I swear to God, I recognize this. I swear I've heard this guy's like songs. Who is this anyways? Ben Shapiro spitting verses with MAGA rapper? Oh no. So, rap-hating conservative pundit Ben Shapiro is now a rapper. So, Ben Shapiro hates rap. He's a fucking corny-ass, talentless twat. And now he's guesting in a rap video and he's spitting raps. So, Shapiro, the founder of right-wing media empire The Daily Wire, teamed up with MAGA rapper Tom MacDonald. Yes, MAGA rap is a real genre. MAGA rap is a real genre. Okay. All right. On the lib-owning track Facts, which debuted Friday. Okay, so there's a new song out by Tom MacDonald. It's called Facts. He's a MAGA rapper, and he's joined by Ben Shapiro. This latest song centers on well-worn right-wing culture war talking points. Oh no. Do I really want to watch this? I feel like I don't want to watch this. I feel like this is something I could go my whole life without seeing. Does anybody else get that feeling? You know, just because I'm Neogenian and I constantly, I'm on the more rational, skeptical side of things, I do have intuitive feelings, like gut feelings. And my gut feeling is like, Jen, you probably don't want to see this. Spectral Deviant says MacDonald. The I'm going to pop some tags guy. I think so. Who is he? Because I swear I was listening to one of his songs and it was going really good because he was rapping about the state of the world and how the government is corrupt. And then randomly he had this line about how the government is purposefully creating a psyops to create the trans agenda and make boys and girls think that they can choose whatever gender they want. And it was just such a weird line. I was like, no, thank you. What song? I swear to God. Yes! It is! It is Tom MacDonald. So he wrote this song called The System. And I actually started liking the song. I was like, this is a pretty cool song. And then randomly, there was just these fucked up lines where I'm like, no. I gotta look up the lyrics. Tom MacDonald, The System, lyrics. Because it was I don't know. Okay. So the lyrics are something like, welcome to the world, baby boy. I'll paint you red and white and blue. The indoctrination starts as soon as you come out of the womb. Pretty quick we'll make you stupid with curriculums at school. And if the classroom doesn't do the trick, we'll make you watch the news. So at this point, I'm like, okay. And he's like, pick your team, right or left. Pick the red pill or the blue. You can vote, even if you win. Still, everyone will lose. Don't forget to buy a designer because Gucci makes you cool. We prioritize material belongings over truth. Okay. And then the chorus is like, welcome to the system. Everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white. It hates you all. Here inside the system, violence is a symptom, fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong. See, I was listening to the song. I'm like, this is cool. I'm like, all right, this is good. I'm looking for that weird transphobic line. I swear to God, there was something weird about gender. Yeah, okay, so like it goes like never teaching you to love yourself, inject you full of hate, objectify your sexuality, then blame you for the rape. I'm like, okay. And weaponize the differences that make our men and women great, and just to screw with you, erase the genders. Everyone's the same. And I'm like, no. That's that one line where I was like, wait a minute. That's not what's happening. Never teach. Yeah. We'll empower you with rights to vote and fight for equal pay, then have the men turn into women and you'll fight for them again. Like, that's like so transphobic. It's like, what the fuck? Like, it's pretty much just like a couple of lines thrown in there about the conspiracy of a trans agenda. So like, I was really liking this song. I'm like, okay, this is good. This is good. This is awesome. Like, I like this. And then like they threw in those lines and I'm like, what the fuck? So that's all I know about Tom MacDonald. Oh my God, do I really want to watch this? I think I'm gonna need, I don't know, definitely another root beer, and I'm gonna need a big fat hit off of my weed cartridge to deal with Ben Shapiro rap. Okay, that's it. Take 5. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. Okay, so I definitely need more P screen entries. So if anybody wants to make fan art for the P screen, let me know, because I need more entries than that. Like, I want an entry from everybody. Okay, so I have Loppy, my rational support unicorn, and we're going to watch this. I don't know. What? I just, like, first 2 lines and I already, like, heard only 2 genders. Is there a better version of this with, like... That looks like a really... I need a Loppy. I do need Loppy in the P-break screen. It's true. Oh, no. Oh, if this shuts down my stream, or if my live stream gets demonetized because of this, I'm going to be so fucking mad. So just so you know, if this stream gets demonetized because of Ben Shapiro's stupid rap video, I will cut the whole thing out and get the stream back up. So you're going to review this with me now. You can review this with me now, because if it gets cut out, it gets cut out. And then if anybody is watching back later, like, they're going to miss it. But like, oh no, I already hate this. There's no captions available. Okay, so we'll read the lyrics later. Let's just... Oh my fuck. I don't care if I offend you, hangover gay. And then Ben Shapiro wearing a hoodie that says facts don't care about your feelings. You know what's so funny? Ben Shapiro is such a hypocrite. When it comes to facts don't care about your feelings, like he literally just leads with feelings all the fucking time. Like all the fucking time, Ben Shapiro talks based on his feelings. Like he cares more about his own feelings than he does actual facts. Like he needs to eat his own words. Oh, why is this stressing me out?
They call me offensive, controversial. There's only two genders, boys and girls. They can't cancel my message because I'm the biggest independent rapper in the whole freaking world. Claim that I'm racist, yeah, alright. I'm not ashamed because I'm white. If every Caucasian's a bigot, I guess every Muslim's a terrorist. Every liberal is right. I don't want to talk to folks who don't get it. Go woke, go broke, no hope.
Am I the only one who wants, like, Eminem to hand him his ass? Didn't he? I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know. I wish I could just have Eminem step in here and just fucking hand him his own asshole. Oh. So did anybody catch the lyrics so far? Something about, like, they immediately, like, the first line is something about, like, I'm speaking facts, there's only two genders, like, this is it, like... Oh my fuck. Where do we get to Ben Shapiro's line? I think that's what I care about most. I mean, if I had to throw this music video a bone, I guess I do like the production quality, I like the colors, I like the setup. If you just remove the people and put me there, honestly, I will toot my own horn. Remove them and make way for me. I shall make proper use of this set.
In the thugs or your daughters in the holes. I don't care if I offend you. I was put here to upset you. You can cry and you can scream. You can riot in the streets. You defunded the police. Now there's no one to protect you. I hope I offend you. I ask myself what would Ben do.
I don't care if I offend you. I ask myself, what would Ben do? And his fucking stupid face is fucking on all those screens. Goodbye. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it before I even started this. I knew it, Loppy, didn't I? We both knew it. We both knew that this video would be very upsetting. And not because I'm offended, but because it's stupid! Fuck. I'm not offended by this! You stupid, dumb MacDonald oaf! This isn't offensive! You're not hardcore! You look like an idiot! This rapper dude, Tom McDonald, would never watch this and never see me, but if he did, I would say you look dumb! You look stupid! And I am a very kind person, and I really don't like making fun of people, but he deserves it because he looks like a fucking idiot! It's really appropriate his last name is McDonald because motherfucker looks like a goddamn clown! God damn! My heart is elevated, Loppy. Oh, my heart. Loppy, my blood pressure. My rational support unicorn. I need you. Oh my god, I'm not offended. Why is he singing like all hardcore and he's got his arms out? Why is he all proud? This isn't offensive. This is not offensive. This is stupid. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of like high school where there was like those, you know, you always had like those couple of white kids that talked like they were black kids, but they're not black kids, they're white kids, but they always act like gangster, like, yo, what up? And then you just look at them and you're like, the fuck you doing? This is what this reminds me of. This is something they would like listen to and think is cool. I'm so glad I'm not in high school now. Fuck me.
Keep it real facts, don't care how you feel, man. If you want my pronouns, I'm the man who don't respect.
Let's look at the stats, I've got the facts. My money like Lizzo, my pockets are fat. Homie, I'm epic, don't be a wap. Dog, it's a yarmulke, homie, no cap. Look at the graphs, look at my chart.
I sincerely, like, I'm almost, like, on the verge of tears. This is so stupid. I don't think I've ever experienced that sensation in my life. I don't think I've ever felt so cringe, like, that I wanted to cry.
Man who don't respect.
Let's look at the stats, I've got the facts. My money like Lizzo, my pockets are fat. Homie, I'm epic, don't be a wap. Dog, it's a yarmulke, homie, no cap. Look at the graphs, look at my charts. You're blowing money on strippers and cars. You go into prison, I'm on television. Dogs, no one knows who you are. Keep hating on me on the internet. My comment section all woke Karens. And I make racks off compound interest. Y'all live with your parents. Nikki, take some notes. I just did this for...
I don't live with my parents. And I hate you. What the
fun. All my people download this. Let's get a Billboard #1.
This ain't rap, this ain't money, cause
you know, it's so interesting to listen to Ben Shapiro rap. I think that's the slowest he's ever talked. Which is interesting because I feel like in rap you want to like spit quick words. Spectral Deviant, is this a joke? No. Why do you think I'm so upset? Spectral, why do you think I am upset? Not because this is offensive, but because this is the dumbest shit I've ever fucking seen in my life. Oh my god. Could you imagine if I did a cheesy rap against who? I don't know. Or like if somebody who hates me, like if they did like a diss rap, like I would just like... Is this cool? Is somebody watching this and like feeling invigorated and being like, fuck yes, like this, I feel it deep down in my goddamn ballsack, goddamn! Like, this is owning the liberals. Mark says, it's offensive but not in the way they think. Exactly! I'm not offended. I'm just like, this is offensive because it's stupid. So like, I mean, it's just like, okay, so pretty much the whole theme of the song. Now, I've written plenty of songs. I'm not a fucking genius music writer, okay? Like, but I have put out songs. I've put a lot of thought into like the theory of writing a song and like the meaning behind it, the meaning behind the words and stuff. This song to me is just one big fat song on owning the libs. And there's something about conservative comedy, and I have to put comedy in quotations, or just like conservative creativity. There's something about conservative, and I guess conservative, what am I trying to say? Mark, help me. What do you categorize these kind of people? Like they're Republican, they're conservative, but that in itself doesn't necessarily mean people are like this. Like, what is these type of people? But like, whenever these type of people try to be creative, it comes off really bad. It's like they're not really creative. Like they're trying to be creative. They do produce something. They do produce a piece. But like, it's just really bad. Like they just have no creativity. Like they are just inept at being creative. So like when I see a song like this doesn't seem like a big, giant, like insightful, like groundbreaking philosophical song. this is just like, oh, we're owning the libs. And they're not actually owning any libs. They're not owning the woke libs. They're feeling like they're owning the woke libs. Like they're literally just jerking themselves off, imagining liberals and woke people and whatever people they think are going to be offended by this. They're imagining them watching this, and they're imagining them being like so like sad and just like so offended and just like so defeated. But that's not what's actually happening, right? Like they're in a studio imagining that woke liberals are watching this and feeling so defeated, but that's not happening. That's a fantasy, right? And that's why I think this makes me cringe. Because Ben Shapiro and Tom MacDonald are singing this song thinking that woke liberals are watching it and feeling defeated, and that's not what's happening. Nobody gives a shit. And that's why it's painfully stupid and cringe. That's why it's painfully stupid and cringe. But the other part that makes it painful is I know this is going to make a lot of money. This is going to get a lot of views, and this is going to make a lot of money. Why? Because even if you hate it, people are going to watch it. Look at us. We're watching it. I am outraged. Mark says their humor tops out at a 13-year-old cringe. Yeah. It's an undeliverable message except for morons who already agree with them on everything. Right. Because when I listen to songs and lyrics, not all the time, okay? Because I like a lot of repetitive dance music and like pop music and stuff. But there's also like a lot of music where I love listening to artists write lyrics that are very philosophical and they take you on a journey and they're very insightful and they make you think about what it relates to. But this doesn't. This provokes no thought. This provokes nothing. This provokes no expansion of anything within my mind. In fact, I feel like I am now stupider for having seen this. And I think that's why I was afraid. Loppy, help me. Rational support unicorn. Oh my fuck. Does Ben get another line?
I was playing to a setting. You can cry and you can scream. You can riot in the streets. You defunded the police. Now there's no one to protect you.
You defunded the police. Now there's no one to protect you. What the fuck? I'm so glad I have Loppy to scream into. No, what? I ask myself, what would Ben do? That's a line in the song. Oh no. But then, like, he points to Ben, and Ben does this little... That! You goofy, stupid mother. Look at these fucking gray sweatpants wearing ass fucking scraggly ass dude. If I saw these two look exactly like a couple of white kids I went to high school with. I swear to God. Cassie, back me up. And I swear to God it could be applied to like fucking 10 kids we went to. But there's always that piece of shit white boy that thinks he's like so fucking tough. And he's always like being a dick, swearing something. I could think of like 3 different names. But anyways, it doesn't matter. It's just that trope of like the high school kid who's always yelling, like arguing with the teacher. They're always getting caught smoking, or they're like bragging about drinking. And it's like, dude, we're like fucking 13. Like, who cares about drinking or like having sex and shit? Like, it's that kind of thing. They don't look adult. They look like little fucking high school kids. They do. Straight up. High school kids. I can't take this seriously. Look at them. Just fucking look at this. You derpy ass fucking dickweed. They both. So, these two look like kids in high school that I would hate and never fucking deal with unless I had to buy weed from them. Okay, that scenario didn't actually happen, but if I was back at, like, these are high school kids, like, these would be kids that I wouldn't fucking talk to unless I had to buy weed from, right? They look like the kids in high school that are constantly obsessed with smoking pot. MGK is better than them even. And yeah, and MGK is a piece of fucking little shit. Cassie says, like Randy. I could name of it. Cassie, you remember there was like this kid named like Brandon or something? He was like a little pissant. I don't know. Brandon, Devin or something. There was always just that kid. This is stupid. I know I keep repeating myself. I do understand that. Like, I understand I just, like, constantly am repeating myself. But, like, I don't understand how they could produce something with this image and then expect... And then they're, like, doing this, and it's like, oopsie, I guess you're just gonna have to cry about my opinion. Nobody's crying about your opinion, Ben. Nobody's crying about your opinion. And your opinion isn't facts, bro. Like, none of y'all. And, like, that's the hypocrisy about it, too. I think that's... They're like, oh, you're mad, you know, because you're offended. Well, I'm mad because this is hypocrisy. You say that facts aren't feelings, but these people are totally delusional to facts of life. Especially delusional to the fact that this looks like fucking shit and they look dumb as fuck.
Let's just keep it real facts. Don't care how you feel, man. If you want my pronouns, I'm the man who don't respect you.
If you want my pronouns, I'm the man who don't respect you. Why? So, let's go back to that Ben part. Because this is just the part that I think we need to, like, I don't know. This is like The Ring, okay? This is like The Ring, okay? I watched this, and I am going to die in 7 days. I'm not going to do that, okay? So we're going to watch this again so that I can relieve myself of the curse and pass it on to you so that I don't die. But you will die in 7 days from now so that you have to place this curse on somebody else, okay? Do you get this now? We are all cursed with this. I'm gonna die. Also, I swear to God, these TV-looking backgrounds, I swear this is stock footage that I've seen, and it's available for like $30. I'm not even joking. Like, this television is like a stock footage, and it's like a green screen in the TV, and you just plant your like video thing in it. It's like, I swear to God, I've seen this, and it's like $30 or something, like $75 or whatever. It's just like basic stock footage for their effects. Spectral Deviant says, nope, I'm immune. No, you're not. These are the rules. I made them up, and you have to follow them because I said so anyways.
Let's look at the stats. I've got the facts. My money like Lizzo, my pockets are fat. Homie, I'm epic. Don't be a wap. Dog, it's a yarmulke, homie, no cap. Look at the graphs. Look at my charts. You're blowing money on strippers and cars. You go into prison, I'm on television. Dog, no one knows who you are. Keep hating on me on the internet. My comment section all woke Karens. And I make racks off compound interest. Y'all live with your parents. Nikki, take some notes. I just did this for fun. All my people download this. Let's get a billboard #1.
This ain't rap, this ain't money, cause you...
So he even gave a shout out. His last line, he's like calling his people to get together and make it like a Billboard 1 song. Oh no, it's probably gonna make it, honestly. 11 hours and like already like almost 2 million views. Download facts on iTunes, get #1 Billboard, and troll the music industry. Oh no. Well, I don't know. Where's Eminem? I feel like Eminem should save us. Am I just like old school, or am I like I'm like Eminem, help us, Eminem, like Obi-Wan, because Eminem is really fucking good at clapping. I mean, like, granted, they didn't like talk about Eminem at all, but like Eminem is really fucking good at clapping back at people. I mean, that's like his whole fucking forte. Like, did anybody see that section where Eminem, like, clapped back at Machine Gun Kelly? Like, he straight up dissed Machine Gun Kelly in Machine Gun Kelly's style of rap. It's crazy. Like, Eminem is really good. Like, don't fuck with Eminem. Like, he will hand you your ass. Yeah, I would love Eminem just to like come out and just because they say they're trying to troll the music industry, like, I don't know. Anyways, I think I've had enough of that. We're gonna move on to our little helicopter friend. Last week we covered Slim. Speaking of Eminem, Japan landed a device or a little machine on the moon. I think we covered that last week, and it was called Slim for short. And I was thinking like Slim Shady, and that was really funny. But this week we're talking about a little different, a different device. Space devices is our thing, girls. Like, we are just all into the space machines. Anyways, NASA's little helicopter on Mars has logged its last flight. This is kind of sad, actually. I don't know why I want to cry. It's not actually like an animate object. Like, it's very much inanimate, but... Anyways. Get out of the way, bitch! Hold on. Hold on. I don't think you'll be able to hear this, but right now, I'm hearing an owl outside of my window behind me, because I have my window open. I can totally hear an owl right now. Like a straight up like owl, like a hoo, hoo. Yo, I gotta tell you about the dream I had like a few weeks ago. I wanted to do this in a video, but I'll just tell you real quick. So I had a dream. Long story short, but like the main point of the dream was like, oh, there it is, I hear it. Wait. So I had a dream about an owl. I watched an owl attack a hawk. Like, the owl grabbed a hawk out of midair, and they like fell to the ground, and they were just kind of like clasping each other, and the owl was super pissed off. Like, it was like big and you know how when owls get mad or they feel threatened, they get like big and poofy? Like, the owl was doing that, and the hawk was just kind of like laying on the ground, like kind of just with its beak open a bit, like trying to defend itself, but obviously defeated. Like, the hawk was defeated. And I remember somebody standing next to me in my dream telling me something weird like, you know, it's against the law to look at them. And I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like, yeah, because these owls are protected species or something. Like, you can't even look at them. It's like, that's dumb. Like, I'm looking at it right now. Anyways, I shit you not. Just a couple of days after I had that owl dream, I've had this owl hanging around my place, and I've been hearing it like every other night, like hooing. Like, it's like a loud hoo. Like, I don't think the microphone's picking it up. I still keep hearing it. It's just like out there, like hoo, 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 hoo. Isn't that crazy? Yep, there it is. Anyways, there's there's straight up an owl back there. Anyways, I thought you might think that's cool. My owl friend. That's kind of like, I think that's honestly like the latest sort of what does Carl Jung call it? Like a synchronization. I don't know. I'm going to make a full video about this, like explaining it more in detail, but that's like in a nutshell what's happening is I had a dream, a really important dream about an owl, and just after that, like we're talking like the next night, or like the night, like maybe after that, like the 2 nights after, there's this owl that just like constantly hangs around my house now. Like, it's weird because I've never had any like some particular special thoughts or dreams about owls. I don't really like think about them. They're cool. But yeah, I got a little owl dude hanging behind me. Anyways, do you have any videos on NASA's little... So there's a little helicopter on Mars, you know, they have like the little rover machine, and then they have like a little helicopter dude. Well, I guess the helicopter took its last flight. And frankly, I'm surprised because I didn't even fucking know there was a little helicopter on Mars. Mars helicopter. Not helicopter, like Mars helicopter. Helicopter, helicopter!
It is bittersweet that I must announce that ingenuity...
Jesus Christ! I didn't expect to have this delegated to me by the fucking Crypt Keeper. Fuck me. Put that guy back. Man, he's stuffed with rats.
The little helicopter that could.
Look
and
at him
it kept
go!
saying, I think I can, I think I can. Well...
I'm just like describing all this and like you all can't even see it. You're just looking at my big dumb face. Okay, look at this guy.
It is bittersweet.
The fucking Crypt Keeper up in here. I didn't expect that. He wants to smooch you. He's stuffed with rats. You know how some people look so old, you're like, that's just a skin suit with rats inside. I don't know. He's fine. I'm being a little bit mean there. I take that back. Laura says, Jan. I love that. Jan. Hoot owls are the ones that who hoot like that, and when they are looking for a mate, it wants you? Maybe, I don't know. It probably just wants the rats, honestly, that are around my place. I don't know if you guys, I've probably said this a million times, but for those of you who don't know, I live in a really small city that's like in a forest by the sea, like a seaside forest. So it's like really woodsy, there's the ocean, like it's north in California, like, well, technically it's like Central Coast, but like it's really woodsy. Like it's not like big city life like Los Angeles, like sunny California, like it's gray, foggy, foresty, like all the time. Like I live in a small town, honey. Like you know your neighbors. Anyways, this owl thing is like pretty cool. I'm pretty sure it's like, I got rats and stuff. I'm wondering if it's after the rats. Because the rats are here. Why are the rats here? Because I like to feed the birds. And I feed the birds bird seed. And sometimes there's bird seed left over in the bird bowl. And the rats love the leftover bird seed in the bird bowl. So the bird seed attracts the birds, and then the rats, and then the owls. So I think I'm just kind of creating an ecosystem here. But, I don't know. What if... Okay, I don't want to invalidate my very, like, because even though I have my rational support unicorn, Hold on, we're going back to my dream thing. So even though I have my rational support unicorn and I like to remain reasonable as possible, I don't want to discredit like the intuitive meaning behind my owl dream. So in my mind, I'm like, maybe I dreamed about the owl because I heard the owl hooing first while I was asleep, and then my brain just interpreted it. But at the same time, it's like, that's a really interesting like meaning behind it, like an owl attacking a hawk, which I will reveal into like a video later. Anyways, back to the machine.
That I must announce that Ingenuity, the little helicopter that could, and it kept saying, I think I can, I think I can. Well, it has now taken its last flight on Mars.
No.
As it was coming down for a landing, at least one of its carbon fiber rotor blades was damaged.
Oh no!
We're investigating the possibility that the blade struck the ground. This is what the blade looks like. It's a special fiber with a special contour. That little helicopter could fly in a 1% atmosphere.
Man, look at those graphics.
100% atmosphere like we have on Earth. It cut through a 1% atmosphere and was able to fly. And what Ingenuity...
You know, when I was looking at this and I was sitting on the toilet taking a shit this morning and contemplating to myself, literally in the bathroom while shitting, I was thinking, like, if it's a little helicopter on Mars, and Mars, from what I understand, has no atmosphere, or very fucking little atmosphere, how does it propel itself? I mean, you can propel to some extent in the vacuum of space. So, like, I don't know, my brain just went to this weird space of just like, how are the mechanics of a helicopter on Mars where it doesn't quite have the atmosphere that we do, so it doesn't, like, what, where, why in the mathematics can somebody show me this shit? These are the types of things I think about on the toilet. What kind of things do you think about on the John? What do you think about when you're on the toilet?
Accomplished far exceeds what we thought possible. Almost 3 years ago, the helicopter made its first flight on the planet Mars.
Altimeter data confirm that Ingenuity has performed its first flight.
Look at him go.
And living up to its name, Ingenuity made history as the first aircraft to make a powered, controlled flight on another planet. But then it flew farther and higher than we ever thought possible. And what started as a technology demonstration with plans for only up to 5 flights has now completed a remarkable 72 flights on
72 flights, my man.
Mars. And the innovation doesn't stop here. It acted as a scout for the Perseverance rover. It would go and check out sites.
Whee!
Ingenuity.
I don't know why every time I see that thing like zooming through the Mars air, I'm just like, whee!
He demonstrated how flight can enhance operational missions. And it's helping us in the search for life on Mars. And like the Wright brothers, what they did back here on Earth at the early part of the last century, Ingenuity has paved the way for future flight in our solar system. And it's leading the way for smarter, safer human missions to Mars and beyond. I think President Biden said it best after Ingenuity's first flight. He said, NASA proved once again that with relentless determination and the power of America's best minds, anything is possible.
Isn't that special?
That's what we try to do at NASA. Make the impossible possible.
Hey, I love science. You know, there's such a big misconception with Neogenians that we hate science because we constantly like shit on like materialism and stuff. And it's true, we do shit on materialism. But there's so much of science that I think is just like fucking awesome. Like science in medical areas to like help people live better lives, more healthy lives, or like science like to send shit to like the moon or Mars. I think that's fucking awesome. What I don't think is awesome is when science tries to explain the fabric of reality, like what reality is, like what is this holos, like the essence of us. It fails. It falls short. It's laughable even. Unfortunately, science fails there. But when it comes to this shit, fuck yeah. We need science. Science is awesome. As Bill Nye says, science rules.
And so, thank you, ingenuity.
Thank you, ingenuity. God bless America. That's cool. Okay, so yeah, we got this little rover. I don't want to read this. My voice is giving out. NASA unveils one-of-a-kind experimental aircraft? What do you mean? Bah.
Just within the last hour, NASA unveiled a one-of-a-kind experimental aircraft, the X-59.
What in the fucking effect smoke is that shit? Somebody's got fog machines over there. Somebody's got fog machines to make that look more special.
Will demonstrate the ability to fly at supersonic speed while generating a
supersonic man out of me
rather than the normally loud sonic boom. The aircraft is at the center of NASA's Quest mission to lift a 1973 U.S. ban on supersonic travel over land.
Don't stop me now, I'm having such a good time.
In order to make a supersonic flight possible, engineers had to make specific designs to make the aircraft quiet.
I'll make a supersonic man out of you.
Nose, which comprises almost a third of the.
I just keep thinking of Freddie Mercury. Like, don't stop me now. They have like a line about like being a supersonic man. I love Queen.
9.7-foot length. So this design is really critical in dispersing shock waves.
Pretty cool. The X-59 is set to take flight this year. Once it's fully operational and tested, NASA plans to fly the aircraft over select U.S. cities in 2026 to get some feedback from the public on the sound it produces. All
right. Well, interesting. We'll see about that. I don't even know what the fuck that is. Well, my friends, I think we've ran out of shit to react to. But it's been a really good stream, honestly. Where are we at? Almost 3 hours now? When I selected the top, and this happens to me often, sometimes when I select topics, I think at the beginning of the stream, I'm like, these are weak topics, and we're not going to be able to get much juice out of this, and that's what I was thinking earlier, but we got a lot of juice out of these topics. I'll tell you what, we had a lot of good Neogenian points with, like, the political thing. We need a good Neogenian political leader that's going to be teleocratic and bring humanity to, like, the point. Like, we had George Carlin, and then we discussed AI and just like the ideas of like rights to like images of oneself, like likeness and things like that, rights to likeness and images of people who have passed. You know, when you can create AI generated stuff, who gets the rights to that? Ben Shapiro with his, I guess that was a video where he thought he was owning the woke libs, but that's exactly why it was stupid, is because he thinks he's owning the libs, and he's not. That's just no. And I always love to end with science stuff, like, even though it's just like a silly little, you know, robot like on Mars and stuff. Like last week we covered Slim on the moon, that little like robotic thing that Japan sent out there. I love science. I love to end on a good note. I feel like that covering like science-y stuff is kind of like the palate cleanser for the end of the evening. I saw something earlier about lions and ants. Hold on. Oh yeah, real quick. I don't know. This is just weird. I kind of saw like the headline of this earlier, and now I'm just like, I don't know. So lions are being forced to change the way they hunt, and it's all because of a tiny invasive ant. That is not a lion. Hold on. I just came down and there's like a snake. I'm like, that is not a lion. So what happened? So a tiny invasive ant muscled to a Kenyan savanna and sparked such a dramatic transformation in the landscape that even local lions changed the way they hunt. The study highlights the potentially profound impacts of invasive species, which are spreading at an increasing rate as human activities give animals, insects, and plants opportunities to hitchhike into new territories. So these tiny invasive ants showed up maybe 15 years ago, and none of us noticed because they aren't aggressive toward big critters, including people. We now see they are transforming landscapes in very subtle ways, but with devastating effects. Interesting. So these thorny trees had developed a mutually beneficial relationship with the local Acicea, ant. The trees provide shelter and food for the ants, and in return, they use their stinging bite to discourage hungry elephants from devouring the trees. Okay. Go ants. But the big-headed ant changed all that. Thought to have originated on an island in the Indian Ocean and brought to the area by movement of people and goods, these invasive marauders arrived around 2 decades ago and started killing the local ants. So these are an invasive ant coming in and killing local ants, leaving the whistling thorn trees vulnerable to herbivores. Okay. So the local ants would have their homes around these trees in Africa. They cover the trees, and these ants would sting elephants and stuff and just like discourage like big animals to like from eating the trees and stuff and bothering them. But these invasive ants are coming in and killing those ants, those local ants, so the trees are now vulnerable. So diminished tree cover poses a problem for lions because they rely on the element of surprise to ambush their prey, notably zebras. Okay. So because those local ants aren't there protecting the trees, herbivores are coming in and they're eating all the foliage off the trees, which makes it difficult for the lions to hunt and stalk prey because they have nothing to hide behind. Researchers spent 3 years in Kenya's conservancy tracking the lions' movements with GPS collars to see how they responded in areas colonized by the invasive ants. Their study published in the Journal of Science found that the big-headed ants had led to threefold decline in zebra killings. Wow. Wow, so they really are making a big impact. This study was a beautiful snapshot on how complicated ecosystems can be, this idea that you put a single thread and the whole system reacts. You know, this makes me think about, you know, there's so much to respect about nature and animals and the ecosystem. And there's so much about it that we fuck up. And I'm never somebody who like advocates really to kill animals, but sometimes we fuck things up so much, we kind of have to do something about it. So like in this case, it's like, what do? Do you kill that invasive? Because sometimes when there's an invasive species of animal or plant that's introduced and creating problems, you have to start disposing of it and killing it. Like if there's an overabundance of deer in an area, you have to hand out deer, like, licenses to, like, kill deer. Like, you do. You have to create, like, a sort of balance and things. Like, so it's so weird. It's like I would never advocate, like, destroying things, living things, but sometimes I feel like we have to in order to keep things balanced. Like, you have to have some destruction. So, like, it's like, what? Do we, like, kill the ants? Like, what do we do? Do they say what we do? They don't say what we do. They just say they're invasive. The lions are all fucked up. We gotta kill some ants. That's the only answer to this. So at the end of the day, we have to kill ants. Which is fine by me, because honestly, out of all the bugs, and I've kept many bugs as pets, I hate fucking ants. I do. I hate ants. I really fucking hate ants. I feel itchy just even saying the word ants. Like, honestly. Like, I just feel ants all over me. Anyways. We're done, my friends. Any afterthoughts? Any questions, comments, criticisms? Fachita says I don't like ants. Well, exactly. Neither do I. Spectral says they're tasty. What do you mean they're tasty? What are you doing here? Are you just fucking eating ants? Like, what's going on, dude? Fachita's like, ew. Nasty. They're nasty. Oh, you says they're nasty. I thought you says they're tasty. I'm sorry. I don't know why my brain saw that. Laura says my comment back there about CCP. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. I'll write that in my notes. I don't know anything about that. Ugh, I don't have to wear the headphones anymore because we're done. Aren't we lucky? We're done. Aren't we lucky? We're done. We're done with you. I am a grown man with a stuffed unicorn. Anyways, thank you all so much for joining me tonight during my live stream. Thank you for joining a grown-ass man with a stuffed unicorn. And looking at weird fucking... I'm forever traumatized by Ben Shapiro's rap. I think everybody is. I think I don't know. I need some ice cream or something to, like, console myself after seeing that. I need like a emotional support group for, like, seeing Ben Shapiro content. Not because of it's offensive, but just because it's so stupid. Anyways. All right, everybody. Good to see you. Have a good weekend. Take care of yourself. Stay reasonable, stay rational. Listen to your intuition too. I will see you later. I am planning on releasing a video on Wednesday. I'm going to be talking about the owl dream. So if you were here during the stream, you got to see a preview of that. Otherwise, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you'll just have to see it Wednesday. All right? All right. All right, everybody. Take care. Have a good weekend. Love you.